Okay, so this is fun. I had posted yesterday about finishing this one, and it wasn't until this morning actually I realized I hadn't quite made it right. The teacher I was making this for wanted the same back as mine in terms of width, and when I tried it on to see what the fit was like, I realized this square here is not the same as my square. The way I did my back, and I'm sorry for the sniffles. I came in from outside and it was really cold. And it's just, also I was in downtown San Antonio today, and it always screws up my, like allergies. Anyway, so I'm going to be dedicating this video for yarn surgery. I've had to do it a couple times in the past. Nothing like this. But basically, when you made a mistake, and frogging is not an option, like all my ends are woven in, you got to do yarn surgery. So I'm first going to explain what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to start doing it, and it involves scissors. Let me see if I can find one of my crochet needles. I'll have to find one of those, but I don't need to find it right now. Anyway, so in order to perform the yarn surgery, I'm going to need the scissors. I'm going to need some stitch markers. And of course, hook, yarn, and a sewing needle for yarn. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be cutting up this way, securing the stitches that I've already done in this direction because I worked it this way. So I'll be needing to weave in, like cut probably, I don't know, right about here, undo a little in both directions, fasten those off. I'm going to have to do the same up this way, which is fine. And then for the seam, fortunately I did a slip stitch joint, so that'll be really easy. And I started from the bottom up on one of these ways and then from the top down. Once I do that, I'm going to get all the way to here. That is where I'm going to stop my slicing and dicing. And I'm going to add evenly. I'm going to count how many stitches I have here first, divided by 3. I'm going to do single crochets, half doubles, and doubles. And then I'll probably do trebles right here in this small section. It's something not a lot of people like to do, but sometimes you just have to do it. And I don't want to half-ass this and just give it to her as is and, you know, she'll be happy with it anyway because she got it. No, I want it to be right. So, without much further ado, I'm going to start on this. I will see, let me turn off my headphones. There we go. I will see if I can find my crochet needle first before starting. Because that, my sewing needle. I have another one. I guess I'll have to use that one. I didn't want to. I should have it here. I don't know why I don't. Probably over here. Nope. You know, I keep buying crochet needles, and I can never find them. Here we go. This is my favorite one. All right, so we have the sewing needle, I should say, for yarn. I'm going to put it in my stitch marker thing so I don't lose it. I'm going to turn this around, and start marking out where I want to stop on things. Again, it's not something I want to do, but it's something I'm going to do. Ooh. Where that came from. All right. I'll put something on the other side to sort of hold this up so it's not dragging on the ground. My work space is normally used for my work monitor, but for now it is being used as my crochet sewing spot. All right, trying not to take out my monitor. Here we go. Just gonna pop that up over there. Give me a pretty good space here. Okay. So here we are. Move this over just a little bit. I apologize. There we go. Okay. So hopefully you guys will have a pretty good view of what I'll be working on. Starting with these. I'm going to want it to stop as best I can right here. Since this is a slip stitch join, I'm not too worried. I'm going to be taking it out over here, so it's okay. I just have to be very careful to get the joining yarn and not the loops, which is the one thing that I'm most afraid of for this. I can fix it, but I don't want to have to bug with it, you know? All right. I suppose I should have counted those stitches real quick. But as long as I do the same on both sides, I'm fine. All right. And then for here, I'm going to cut right here, straight down. And then I'm going to go back this much on either side. So I'm going to do that right there. And then over here, same thing. I'm going to cut, can't see it, but right here. Just a little bit. Move this. That should give me enough to sew in. All right. Okay. Boy. Not my idea of a fun night, that's for sure. Okay. I'm gonna look here. All right. So I can see removing it. I'm also going to try pulling on it. I think it's this one, I think. Because that is part of that one. Alright, you know what? We're going to find out, won't we? Woohoo! Sure hope I cut the right spot. Looks like I did. Yeah, I did. Whew! That was stressful. Okay. Now I'm just gonna work on starting to work it out here. It's at least is a little easier to pull right here. So I do know, at least this way, I know that I cut the right one. So that makes me feel good about that. But it's getting this out, which is going to be the hard part. Now, another good part, it looks like, let's see here. Okay, I can just do that. I can pull it. There we go. Okay, cool. So I'm going to sit down and start working this side up to where I need it to be. And I'm going to bring this down just a little bit to make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing. But I think this is important to record because not everything goes the way you plan. And you rarely see this side of crochet artistry where the mistakes happen and now you got to fix it. People are like, oh, well, I just fixed it. Well, that doesn't really explain how you fixed it. You can say, oh, I fixed it by just doing yarn surgery. Okay, well, how? So the bad part is I've already washed this and dried this. So it's just, it does not want to work well with me right now, which is really frustrating. It smells real good though. I'm trying to figure out where that is. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay. Put on the wrong thing. There we go. And as I get further and further along with this, I'll start trimming some of the yarn because I only need about this much of a tail to weave in, because I'm not going to use this part to secure it again. I'm going to do my own. Now, one thing I could do, though I'm a little hesitant to do it, is to just snip up further. But I don't know if I'd be snipping the right thing at this point. I feel like I got lucky with this. But just like with a sculptor or a painter, when you make a mistake, you can use more of the medium to make the fix. You can, well, okay, I say that with sculptor, but obviously if you're using a marble block and you've taken a little bit too much off, it's not going to be the same. You can, I'm sure there's ways, I'm sure there's sculptors out there that would tell me that there's ways to fix that. All right, I think this is the last time I'm going to cut this. Actually, I think one more. It may not seem like I'm leaving enough, but there'll be long enough tail for sure for me to weave in. All right, it's almost to where I want it to stop, and that'll be where I'm going to weave in my end, so I can at least have that part finished. And I think this is going to be the longest part between this side and that side. So a couple more. Because I'm going to do my single stitch, I think, my single crochet right here, so I want to do one more. Undo this. All right. That's the corner space. One more. All right. I don't know if you can see it, but now take my yarn, my needle, to my 3-way. Probably do it right here. Okay. It's secured now. Woohoo! All right. Now we're going to move on to this side. Now this is where I feel like I got lucky on this side. I'm hoping I get lucky on this side too. There we go. I'm going to flip it over so I can see. Got it right down at the base here. No, I got it in the middle. So I think it is the bar. Yeah. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's like this bar right here that I'm going to cut. Wish me luck. See if I got it. I did. All right. This is going to go a lot faster in this direction. It's going to be slower in this direction. So I'm going to do it here first. Oh, never mind. I lied. Got the loop just right. I think it's because I was pulling it the other direction. Now the downside is I tend to use these sections to sew up other areas, so I'm a little worried about that. But, I mean, I'll sort it out. I'll get it sorted. Yeah, see here, I used it to weave in an end. So, that's kind of frustrating. But it is what it is, right? I mean, did it myself. Okay, I'm going to cut this one. This one's going to go to, I hope that's a good one. There we go. Okay, that was good. All right, and anything I screw up, I'm going to be able to fix. So it just means more time it'll take me to fix as opposed to less time. There we go. There's a knot right there. That one's okay to keep for now, but this is where I'm going to be doing part of my cuts. So undo this area. Yeah, this is a bit of a cluster, so I'm going to come back to this, but I'm going to trim this at least. All right, working my way up. Should be a lot easier at least. We'll see. Nope, it will not. Same. Okay, so I did them in the same direction. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. But at least I know how to do this a little quicker. I suppose what I could do is flip this over and get to the bar. Sure. There we go. Yeah, a lot faster. It has been a long while since I've had to do yarn surgery, so makes sense. And I kept thinking to myself while I was working on this that the back looked wrong, and I couldn't figure out what it was about the back that looked wrong to me. It wasn't until I put it on I realized what it was. Because of the length of this, you want to have a type of a flare to it. All right, almost done. Check this. So I'm all past the corner spot now. So I'm going to take this and fasten it off. Then we got to get to the really scary part. All right, I'm going to take it in. Cut through. Okay, then back the other way. It's a little tougher because this was where I had a weave-in spot before. So there's already a lot of yarn in this corner. All right, one more. All right, safe to snip this one now. All right. So now I have this panel basically free, which is awesome. I gotta go to the scary part. Okay. So like I said, I'm gonna cut up from here. So. Here's where I'm going to fasten this one off if I can. So I'm actually going to put a stitch marker in this one and this one. Okay, cut this. And then here's where it gets kind of hairy because of this corner. So I'm going to see what I can do, but I think it's going to have to go. I'm going to see. We're going to see. And that comes down from there. Okay. I'm good with that one. Pull this out and that should do this. We'll see. Alright, so I found my slip stitch from when I joined this area. But the problem is of course this is black yarn. It's a little hard for me to follow it. I'm gonna have to cut right here. All right. First section is separated. I'm going to pull back to here on this, which will take a little bit of time, but It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Actually, I think this will probably be fine right here. So I'm just going to put that through for now. And then put a stitch marker in. Like, this is where I'm ending. I'm going to do the same with this one. And I'm just going to end it wherever the black one is in it. Maybe I might end it one before. I think that's probably a good idea. I'm going to end it one before. That'll give me something to step into. All right. Okay. This one probably the same. Maybe not. We'll see. Just do it down. I'll have plenty of yarn to... Okay. Pull it tight. This one woven in. Onto this one. Okay. So here's what it looks like so far with the yarn surgery. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. I don't quite know what's going on with this, so I'm just going to reinforce it really well. Trim off these top ends. Oh, this was something that I wove in. So that just needs the top end trimmed off. Same with this one, I think. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. So those are all fine. I'll deal with them as I get a little closer to it. But it'll be easy enough to fix that. All right. Start pulling this one apart. This one's gonna have to stay because of where I left that purple. But again, I have a long enough tail, so it doesn't really matter. That one, not so much a long tail, but we'll make it work. And I'm going to be reinforcing all of these, so it'll be fine. This one ended up quite perfect here too. All right. So to give you an idea of what that looks like now that I've hacked at it and woven it in, that's what that looks like now. So yeah, we're good with this until it's time. This lets me know where I need to fix this. Yeah, that's easy enough to fix too. It's just a corner spot. So yeah, that'll all get fixed. Okay, Zach is off to the side. I can go fix this. Because I'm basically going to be, I'm thinking about just redoing this panel right here, which might end up being actually the easiest thing to do. But we'll see. We'll see how this lends itself to being taken apart. This should be a lot easier. See? There we go. Boom. Done. So I'm just gonna pin this. And that'll be part of it. In fact, let me just fasten it. Well, I'll fasten it off when I finish pulling these back. I don't need to pull it back too far, which is good. But I just need to pull this part, pull this. This one gets the same treatment as the other one. Same here. And I'm 100% sure there's a lot more graceful ways of doing yarn surgery than this. People who are used to yarn surgery are probably going, oh my gosh, what a hack job. Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I know how I can fix it. But I guess I'm too lazy to look up online to see the most proper way to fix it. The most proper way to fix it would have just been undo the corners, work my way up, you know, something like that. I don't know. It would have just, I feel like it would have taken a lot of time and would have ended up with the exact same result, so. All right. I have that one secured for now. I think this one will be fine too, as I get this out. Yeah, so I kept those ones. I'm going to keep these ones because they have a long enough weave-in end. Keep that one. Keep that one. Walk into the stitch. That's done. Move those off to the side. Here. See if I have enough. Pinch that so I don't lose it. Yeah, I think I have just enough to keep this one. Otherwise, I'd have to reorient on the ones above, but... All right. Okay. So now you can see this is a smooth edge. We didn't cut anything there. So everything here is just parts where I'm going to work my way forward to this spot when I'm done down here. So that's fine. Now I'm going to work on this side. Clean up my little mess. But this is the hardest part. After this, you're going to see how fast it goes and the end result, and hopefully it will look really, really good. We shall see. Okay. Yay! I don't want to do this part, but I'm going to. Honestly, yeah, I'm just going to bring it all the way to here. I don't want to bother with cutting and weaving in ends. I'm going to just do it all in one fell swoop because this part, bringing it forward is going to be so much easier. So I'm just going to terminate it right about here. So yeah, you get to see how that looks. A different way to do yarn surgery. And I have plenty of yarn in the colors I need. So I'm good. I got some kids coming, so this may end up being an unlisted video. See what time is it? Oh yeah. Got kiddos coming. I don't know, we'll see. I don't think they'll show their face. That's the one thing I'm concerned about, so. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Right there's fine. Pop that in there. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. So much faster, isn't it? All right, got our ramen yarn here. Hey, buddy, I'm recording. Just a heads up. You can talk. It's fine. Just as long as you don't show your face, it's okay.
If I show my face, then they would know who I am.
Well, yeah, but also I don't think it's right to. I mean, there was the one time I had Stephanie's face for that cat hat thing, but I don't want to make a habit of it, honey. It's okay to talk. That's okay, but I just want to be respectful of your privacy until you're old enough to where you can say you want to be online or not. No, why? Here goes. This one's going to be a little difficult. I'm going to stop this one right here because obviously it's protected. Okay, and take off this last little bit of yarn here. Ribbit, ribbit. What's up, bud? What? Yeah, I am. I'm performing yarn surgery. go. I don't know how that got so out of whack. Did I cut the wrong thing there? No. No, it just ended up all funky. Here we go. That's fine. Alrighty. So should undo this corner right there, which it did. We're good. I'm just going to undo that as well. All right. Okay, that was the most nerve-wracking part of it and the part I hated. Get this out of the way. I'm so tempted to just cut this and work my way. I already know that I cut the corner, so let's just get rid of that knot altogether. There we go. I'll fix that later. It's just easier without that big old knot. Take it off another stitch. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Let me get all this little ramen yarn out of the way. It'll be used later. Clear that out. This. Look, buddy. I did yarn surgery. How do you make this panel free? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna count the stitches and then divide by, well, I guess you'd say 4. I'm gonna keep these as trebles. So, but linked trebles, I think. All right. What's up, buddy?
Can I watch?
Nope. You can't watch anything right now because I have to have that music on while I'm doing this. Oh, gosh, what did I do here? I think that, okay, that's woven around, so I need this one. Yep, there we go. Found it. Okay, Nathan, what are you doing in here?
Just hanging out.
Okay, just checking, because you're just awful quiet. Alright. Got my 2 strands black. Okay.
I think this was stony.
Okay, well, go throw it away. Alright, so let's see what we have here. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. And 24. So I'm going to do 8 of each stitch, starting from here. So I'm going to work in 8 singles, starting from there. So 3, 6, there's my 8s. And then my halves, I'm going to do 3, 6, 8. And my doubles, 3, 6, and 8. Perfect. And then the rest are going to be those trebles, but linked trebles, I think. Now onto this side, doing the same thing, counting from the same spot. probably right here. We're going to see. All right. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Nope. 24 is right there. There. Okay. This is the start of my singles. So that'll just get connected when it's done. Then we've got, okay, 3, 6, 8. That stops my singles. 3, 6, 8 stops my halves. Then 3, 6, 8. No. I do want to have it end right here. Let me make sure there's enough for the trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, so I do want to have it end here. So 3, 6, 8. No, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not right. How did that end up all the way down there, though? That doesn't make sense. Did I count this right? 3, 6, 8. 3, 6, 8. 3, 6, 8. Ah, okay. Well, that's fine. I'm going to visually do it this way. That'll be fine. No, it should be right here. Yeah, it should be right there. Other side. Okay, cool. So now I start on the fixing aspect of it, the fun part. Excuse me. So I'm going to start on this side real quick. Do my trebles. See, let me just double check my starting spot. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So standing treble. And I'm just going to link it. To give it that stability it's going to need. Hey babe, what's up? What's up? You chewing? Okay. All right, that ends the treble. Now I'm going to do a double linked. count my doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm on to my half. I don't think I'm going to link these, but we'll see. Maybe I will. Yeah, I'll link them. And this should be the last one for my half. Before I go into singles, I'm just going to double check. 3, 6, 8. There we go. So now you can kind of see how I've got that height now. I'm going to do my singles, and then I'm probably going to just do a slip stitch join down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that I have my 8, I'm going to change my vantage point, and you'll be able to see me do the slip stitch join down this way to the last one. So I have to get on top of this chair, but I think it'll be fine. All right, leave that up there. Actually, I don't want to quite do it that way. Let me try a different way of doing this. 1 second. I was doing like the braided slip stitch join, which is not what I want to do here. Go back into that stitch for the single crochet. Okay. Then I'm just gonna slip stitch into here. It'll let me. There we go. Okay. Now to do the slip stitch join. This is the back loop slip stitch join, which will create that front, sort of front flat look. I just gotta try and keep it loose. Goes back. Now I haven't added any stitches, so I'll still have it lined up. Well, I say I haven't added any stitches. I haven't added to the count of stitches across. Sorry if I'm in the way. I'm trying not to be. I don't know if I would have done this tonight if I wasn't planning on recording it. I'd be like, oh, let me do it another day. Have to work up the motivation to undo my work. But nearing the end. Of this side. Like I said, it goes really fast. Once you've snipped it and all that, it goes really, really fast. Sorry if my hair's in the way. I can sit down now. Alright, so I will need to fix this part, but that's fine. So I'm just going to pull this out real quick. I'm going to go grab my other black yarn, because I have plenty of it. Yay! Yay! Alright, so I will need to fix this up before I do any joins. Let me just do that real quick. Actually, let me undo this. Pop my hook in here. And all I need to do is carry the yarn forward. Like you would normally if you ran out of yarn. If this lets me. I don't know why it is so in there right now. I think this is where I did a weave in. No, she doesn't need me. She needs to ask Daddy. Okay. So I'm just gonna do this and then take this. So I'm gonna join this yarn. No, it was a double crochet. Downside. Okay, that's fine. Right. Take this, cut this, pull this, weave it in real quick. Don't know. Whoops. Gosh darn. I wasn't able to pull both out for some reason. I don't know if you can see this part of it, but I'm going to weave this in. I did a chain 2 in the corner. I'm now going to connect it to the other side. I'm going to weave the rest of that in later when I finish with everything else. This, I'm going to pull this a little tight. Weave this one in. After I trim it. Yeah, this was a weave in of that one, so I can trim this, have it go by. Do the same with this one. There you go. Finally got that one out. What I just pulled out was a one that I wove in a while back, so it was okay to come back out. He's not in here, hun. All right. So that is sufficiently woven in. It's done 3 different ways. That one can go. I'm going to weave this one in now because the corner that it was involved with is secure. So I'm going to go further into the purple down here and do my 3 back and forth in this corner. I'm doing it in the back of the yarn too, so you wouldn't be able to see this weave in the front purple yarn, which is nice. This can go. All right. So I have this one here that I'm going to need to weave in later. This one I do need to weave in now, which won't take long. Alright, this is woven in a couple different ways. Alright, so now I've got the corner done the way I want it. Now I'm going to finish attaching these with the next 3, which go right there. Let me bring the camera down just a little bit if I can. Hopefully you can still see all right. And there we go. That has now been fixed the way it needed to be. I'm much, much happier with it now for that side. And super fast once you get everything trimmed. And then since I linked this over here, this is a lot easier for me to weave in my ends, hide them. So I'm just going to do that now on this one. You can see I did all those triple crochets and those doubles and half doubles, and there's no gaps. I love the connected stitch when it warrants it, of course. In this case, it did, in my opinion. So there we go. All right. I'm going to weave this in when I get later on that side. So now I'm going to switch over to this side. I had this corner issue here. So I'm going to, gosh darn, I don't know what it is I'm hitting, but it's moving the whole table. Oh, it's the side of my chair. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to fix this corner first before I go on to that part. So that way I don't have to stop like I just did. Trim those down. All right, so I'm going to undo this. See how much yarn I have. Oh, I've got plenty. So yeah, this will be easy enough. Can't tell if that's a half double or a double. I'll go with the, see here. Yeah, it was a half. I'm gonna do one more just to close the gap on that and see how it looks. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Now we weave in this end. back one more time. Third time's the charm, as I like to say. Sometimes it can unravel in one direction. Very rarely can it unravel in 3 or 2, and I believe it can't unravel in 3. So 3 is a good one. All right, I'm going to take this, weave this one in. This. Go. And then one more time. There we go. All done. Gotta weave in these guys now. Use this purple. Hide that. All right. So that one's good in. Last guy right here. For this corner anyway. All right, all set. Set corners completed. Now, the only downside to this is I can't just go up that way. I've got to go down this way, I think. Let me think. Yeah, I have to go down this way and then I go back up. So hopefully, I'm going to check everything when I do, that everything lines up. But here we go. Move this black yarn out of the way. Okay, oh boy. It's stressful here. I'm so close to getting it done right, you know? Okay. Got all my ramen yarn over there. Come on. Okay. So I'm going to be starting it at that same spot. Three. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't see. So 2, 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do the connected half double. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Now I'm on to the double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got our 8. Now we're on to the treble. Undo this one too. I'm gonna have to weave this end in before I go back this way. All right, almost to the end. One last one after this one. And got it. Ta-da! Okay. Probably should have cut it longer than that. That's okay. All right, weave this in. I also shouldn't have cut it at all. I should have just gone it that way, but I was not thinking about it. Oh well. Oh well. Oh my gosh, I didn't cut them evenly. All right, so that part's done. Look at that. All right, let me weave in this end and then I'm going to work on joining. And I guess since I cut it, I'm just going to join from the top down again like I did before. That's where I've already done a weave in, so just weaving it in again over here, I guess. I'd be shocked if anything ever became unwoven to the point where it would fall apart. You'll always have, when you wear stuff, you'll always have the little things that some non-crocheters might freak out about, thinking that your thing's unraveling. It's really not. It's just a little extra. Just kind of works its way out from time to time. Done. Okay. There. That's the good flare right there. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. Now to join this other side. Gonna end up with no memory on my phone. It's been over an hour long already. But that's okay. Alright. Make sure this is plugged in. Alright. So I'm just gonna join it. Gotta move all my yarn ramen over here. So this one is going to get slip stitched into that one. And then after that, it's pretty business as usual. Oops. Let's fix that. Then you guys will get to see the real magic happen. Like literally after this, I mean, excluding of course weaving it ends, it's gonna go super quick. Because it's not like I did any sort of complex stitches around the edge. Now let me move this a little bit. I'm also trying to keep my stitching here loose so the fabric has a way, the yarn has a way to kind of relax a little and get more, you know, comfy. Like mine, I've worn it, gosh, over a month now, and it is just, it's pilling, of course. It's not pilling too bad, but it's pilling, but it's so nice. It wears so nice. There's another reason why I wanted to make sure that this got done right. If it doesn't get right the first time, it's got to get right the second time. Here we go. All right, let me weave in those ends real quick. And I'll show you what it looks like. I'll flip it over so you can see what all this work has paid off. Sorry, my phone mount is attached to the table, and I'm kind of jiggling the table a little bit right now. So you're going to see that translated over into the phone. I'm sure it's been going on most of the time, but I haven't been looking at my phone to do this, so I do apologize for whatever viewing experience you have. Okay, so that end is woven in. Get this one. At least this one won't take long. Okay. All right, so let's take a peek at how it looks so far. Move these out of the way. It's been almost an hour and a half now. I'm going to make this go up a little bit so we have a better vantage point. Okay. I can't pull it too far. Okay. You have dips here because of just, this is where the double crochets happen, but that's fine. It'll be fine. Okay. So I have that flare that I wanted. You can see it is flared now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the yarn ramen spot. This is where it's going to get fast. All right, so this is my light, not my light, my second color. So I'm going to need that over for when I'm out of my yarn ramen. I'm just going to prep for that now. And, okay, here we go. Get a little closer to me so I know you guys will be able to see what I'm seeing. With my, off to the side with my scissors. Okay. There we go. Oops. This is some more of this, so I've got plenty of room to work with. And here we go. So I did half doubles, and I did them every 5 stitches approximately. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have connected this spot like I like to do. 5. And 6. Because I'm going over here, I'm not going to do that one thing. I don't like how this dips. Let me see here. So I'm probably going to do, actually I'm going to back up and do 2 doubles right here. And then go back to a half. One, 2. See how that made it more the right level? And probably just connect this one too on another double. And then now I'm going to go back to halves. This is my connected treble. There we go. And then back to halves. Trying to think about this. I feel like I should have had, let me look at this real quick. Yeah, I feel like I should have, I'm actually going to pause bring this back up and right there's fine. I'm gonna add some black right here. Just some singles. Because I feel like that's what I did originally. It would have helped if I had pictures to reference, but yellow. Yeah. That'll also help with the height issue, I think. We'll weave that in. This one's getting a half though. Another half. Okay. Now I'm just going to do singles across. And this just helps give it some uniformity. And then I'll be able to do those every 5. Because I knew I was able to do it before, which tells me that I already had this all joined up. Oops, 1 second. Ah! Let's see what it is that I accidentally loosened here. I don't know. What was I loosened? Give me a second. Oh no. Oh, here it is. Is it that? Yeah, it's that. All right, I'm going to have to put this down. Actually, I'm going to stop and I'll record part 2 shortly.